Here we are on the start line at Cadeville, a fictitious course on CADEsport e-racing. This video is really going to just show you what it's like to do a little race on CADEsport. You'll see the riders on the start line here are ones who decided to sit on the start line and wait for the start. Now the other riders, they go into Cade and they and there they come, and they're magically transported off their warm-up, so they can go on to warm-up, but just before the race they get magically transported to the start line and join the rest of us. So here we are with the usual line-up of people, Duca, and we've got Malcolm Murdoch, Kay and Homer Thompson, Frank Garcia, Brett Smith is in there. Who have I missed? I probably missed somebody, but the usual players. Now, we're following me, so that's what you're going to see, and at the moment I'm 4th place and lagging behind. Brett Smith has gone off the front. Now this is about cornering, so we get around this first corner, and already Frank Garcia's gone, and you see his name light up in red on the leaderboard up there on the right. Now we've made up some ground on Brett here, which is quite good, so you can make up ground two ways: corner better and not crash, or actually make it up on the straight. Now I've slowed down a little bit there and let Malcolm Murdoch come through on the inside, and as we push on we are going to catch Brett, so it's good here. Now I go on the inside of the bend here, and I've done quite well up to then, but then decide to accelerate out, getting a bit keen and crash, and I've lost all those places. Somebody else just crashing in front of me, I think that was Malcolm. He gets up quicker than me, obviously pedalling quicker than me, and somebody else is now caught up with me, and the three of us now having to chase on to those leaders. And see Frank Garcia's back with us now. He's caught us up. He slows down a bit on that bend. Now he knows it better than us. I get through it first, so feeling quite confident at this moment. Move over to the right hand side to go around this one, and bang, too fast, too keen. Now what's happening is that I'm going into those corners, and if you look at the speedometer in the bottom, you'll see it has green sections and it has red sections. The green section is how fast I'm going. The red section, which is just flashed up now, telling me that if I go into that red section I will crash, so I need to slow down here. I use the braking facility, which is either the space bar on my keyboard, or there's a button on the phone app. I've just got around Kay Thompson there, so that's great. I've made up a place, just chasing this one ahead, but again too keen, going to the red, and Kay gets around me again. Now last week, the week before I filmed this anyway, Kay was very, very good. She absolutely gave me a lesson in how to stay on your bike around one of these bendy courses. So I think when she got away, and you can just see her in the distance behind, going behind the trees, I've now got a problem. Oh, nearly crashed there, skidded but didn't crash. Now what happens there, if you're in the yellow, which is a little zone that pops up between the green and the red. Now the white you can ride in and you can pedal hard. The yellow, now I'm in the red here, so I need to brake just before this corner, and I don't brake enough, and yet another crash, losing more and more ground. And there's only Duca behind me now. I'm almost at the back, having lost all those places through the crashes. Now I start going again. You can see there's the green, how fast I'm going. The white, it's disappeared now. The white is how fast I can add to it. I mean, I can go into anywhere in that white zone. Now see the red's popped up again ahead of this bend. I'm in the red, but I brake sufficiently before the bend. I don't want to brake in the bend, because what I was about to explain, with the yellow, if you brake when you're on the yellow you will skid, whereas if you're in the red you will crash, unless it's very, very tempered. I mean, it allows you to and again getting a bit too keen on chasing everybody else, stuck in last but one place here, and I'm going to need to do better than this. Having lost a lot of time now ahead of me, you can see everyone, I think virtually everybody's ahead of me now, aren't they? It's only Luca that is behind. I think Luca actually may or may not have had a technical, and it must. I've got a feeling he won't complete the race, because I think there's a problem going on there. He usually does finish them, so let's see what happens. He has the Italian flag, and if you actually look at the speedometer, it looks like the Italian flag when it goes green, white and red at the bottom. So that's the end of lap 1. We've got 4 more laps to do on this course, so you'd like to think that we learn the bends a little bit better each time round and crash a little bit less, but for me the damage has been done. And you can see that Frank Garcia, who crashed behind us early in that race. He's right up into second place. He's overtaken Brett, who's had a crash, and Homer Thompson in the lead. So they'll be duking it out for first place. I'm sorry the camera's not on them, and we are looking at the back of the race with me. It's me just filming my own ride, obviously. Now, taking it cautiously around these, you can see the needle is a little bit shy of the red, so I could be doing those a little bit faster if I really wanted to. Time to make up some speed on these straights, but then you have to brake going into them. Again, look at that, onto the red, and I've lost even more time now. Matters are just getting worse and worse and worse. I'm now double-digit seconds behind everybody in front of me, and Malcolm Murdoch and the others. So I've got a long way to go to make this up. Now, what am I going to do about this? I think the best thing is to just start learning these corners. Now look at that one, very, very tight there. Just got the needle in between the red and the green. That's good. Could be making up some distance here if I get this one right. Malcolm Murdoch is the target, and looking here, there's quite a bit of white between the green and the red, so I could do this one a little bit faster. Oh, it's getting close there, so maybe not. And back onto the straight now. It's about pumping out as much as I can, getting over to the inside line for the next bend. I know when the bends are coming up because I've got a map in the top right hand corner. And again, look at that, absolutely we're not quite perfect, but very close. The green and the red and just the needle just between them. Now again here, I'm going to need to brake. This is tighter than I want it to be. I've left quite a bit of white in there, so I could have done it faster, but look as the bend goes round, the red creeps down a little bit, so maybe it is a good idea to leave that little bit of white early into the bend. And I see somebody else has crashed up ahead, so that gives me a little bit more chance of catching up. Again, look at this, the distance between the red and the green there, not very much, so my cornering clearly improving. And I see Malcolm's moved up a place, so he's 2 places away now for me to catch. And again, look at that, the red and the green getting very, very close, and the needle just where I want it to be. So I am making up a little bit of time. Need to push hard on these straights though. If you think about it, the speed limiter on the corners is limiting everybody to the same speed. So even if I get them perfectly right, if everybody else is getting them right, I can't make up any ground. But on these straights, this is where I can make up some ground. But by accelerating hard out of the corner, I'm not going to be at peak till the latter end of the straight, and then going to have to slam the brakes on. Somebody else has crashed up. Kay Thompson has crashed further up, so that gives me a little bit more hope of catching her. She taught me an absolute supreme lesson in how to ride last week. So I'm in the red now, but I'll slam on the brakes. It's very, very close. Probably just got that one about right. You notice I stopped pedalling to take away any risk of going into the red. Now, if there is white there, you can soft pedal a little bit, which helps give you a bit of momentum out of the bends. But at the moment, it's about staying up. So we're just going around this one. It's very, very close, and I'm going to catch a rider. So, great news. I might make up one place. I see Vanessa's dropped to the bottom. I think she's not riding. So Luca and Vanessa looking like they're having technical problems and dropping out the race. I need to get past this rider as we enter lap 3, and I go up a place. So I'm 3 off the bottom now in the leaderboard, chasing Malcolm and Kay. Don't think I'm going to get anywhere near Frank Garcia, Homer Thompson and Brett. Oh, and look, just done that overtake, and I'm taking that corner. And there's not a lot of white there, and that rider has taken that a lot better than I have. Gone past me at a fair old speed, and there was only a little bit of white left for me to play with. Again, I've taken this one cautiously, and that rider's got away on here, but look how close the red and the green are. I'm not sure what else I could have done. There's obviously a better way of cornering than I'm doing that. Let's go to the inside, absolutely pushing to catch this rider. We're not going to get it behind the next bend, so I'm going to have to slam on the brakes, just get around this one. Plenty of white in there, so I'm not doing this one too well, but haven't lost too much ground on the rider in front. So let's see what we can push out on this bit of straight, make up every little second we possibly can. Slam on the brakes here, try and avoid that red. Oh, very, very close, not bad at all. Very little white between the green and the red. I can still see the rider in front, need to make up another second if I can on this little bit of straight as we hit the next bend. And this is the whole thing, that you can't just power your way to catch up with the other rider, because there's going to be a bend sooner or later. But I think that distance is closing a little bit. Let's give it another push on this bit of straight, going over to the inside of the bend to get the best line on it, getting ever closer, but need to slam on the brakes, need to take big care here, getting very, very close to the next rider. We could be overtaking the next rider on this lap with a bit of luck. Let's get over to the centre again, getting ever closer, but we have to be cautious here. Don't get it too excited. We saw what happened in lap 1, can't let that happen again. Another bit of straight, let's see what we can make up here. Not a lot, it's not a long straight, but nevertheless we are getting very, very close. We might even take this rider on this bend. Now, don't get too excited, stay up, look at the needle, little bit of white, but remember this rider now has to push around us. See what we can do here, pulling away on the straight. Probably not going to get a great gap here, because this bend will come up and I need to stay up. Again, a bit too much white, and I allow the other rider to catch up. I haven't done that as well as I possibly could. Get neck and neck, but slightly stronger on the straights. Again, slam on the brakes. I'm not going to go on the inside lane here. I don't know that it makes a lot of difference, actually. I don't think it does. I think it's better to be on the inside line, is what I'm trying to say, because I don't think being on the outside line allows you to go faster as it would in real life. I could be wrong though. Another bend here, let's just get, oh look at this one's not bad at all. The green and the red almost touching, and the needle just where you want it to be. Back onto the straight and beginning to pull away. Now then, can we dream and catch? Oh, Malcolm's just crashed. We saw his name flash up in red just in front there. If Malcolm's crashed, I've suddenly got, waste all of that effort by crashing myself. So that was a golden opportunity missed. We'll have both lost 3 or 4 seconds there in the crash, plus the time it takes to accelerate. Malcolm's gone again, and the rider behind me is gone again. So suddenly I'm back in with a shout. I need to take this corner carefully. Let's talk about staying up and not racing to chase Malcolm just yet. We can see somebody ahead of us. I think that is Malcolm in sight now. So the chase is on. How long have we got left? Well, we're on lap 3 of 5, and we've got 4.6 kilometres left. So that's the last 2 laps. I've got 2 laps basically to try and catch Malcolm, and you never know, maybe even Kay. Welcome to Cadeville. Welcome to the last 2 laps. The chase is on. Let's see if we can hunt down our quarry here. Oh, skidding on that bend, getting a bit too excited. Need to stay calm and calculated here. And I think Vanessa was saying to me earlier that I used to say cool, calm and calculated, but it's now cool, calm and cornering well. Take this one sensibly. Don't crash. A crash is going to cost more than just being a little bit more patient. We're not in the last lap yet. Malcolm's within sight. Malcolm knows that. He was staying up much better than me on corners last week, and quite honestly has been riding a lot better than I have in these races lately. So I think this is a tall order. Somebody broke down there. I think that might be Vanessa. So I was probably right that she's got some sort of technical, and or has had to abandon the race for other reasons. Maybe pulled muscle, who knows what. Take this corner carefully. Look at the needle. Just a little bit of white in there. Probably could have done that slightly better. But let's not take any risks now, because we've got Malcolm within our sight. We need to get these seconds down, and we can see him getting ever closer. So just keep my cool there. Probably taking it a little bit too cool. Maybe could have done this bend faster. There's plenty of gaps between the green and the white on the speedometer at the bottom there. And Malcolm has pulled away, so that corner has cost me some time. Let's go to the centre though. Seem to have made up a little bit on that straight nevertheless, and again look at getting this one quite right. The needle such that it was almost on the red, but just a slither of white there. Go towards the inside again. It's Malcolm certainly getting closer. Don't be fooled though, obviously he slows down for the bends and then pulls away and accelerates out of them. So as close as I get just before a bend, you come out of the bend and you see the gaps grown again. So it's a little difficult to quite work out exactly how. Oh, and Malcolm's crashed, and this is a golden opportunity now to take another place. And next ahead of me is Kay Thompson. So what will Malcolm do about that? Now Malcolm's quite experienced at this, so he knows how to corner and he knows how to stay up, so I wouldn't dismiss him catching me again. I just need to stay up. So it's more about staying up now than anything else, because if I do crash, Malcolm will get past me. So he's basically, if you could measure it like this, he's one crash behind me. If I do, I've blown it. Absolutely blown it. Had the advantage. There we are. And look, Malcolm's just gone past me. So that's it. We're back level on crashes if you were able to count it on this. And I've lost a little bit of ground there, but not a lot. So we're still vying for this place between us. I've got the inside lane here, which I think is slightly better, and I seem to be catching him. He's steered across. You can steer. Skidded there. I was obviously accelerating out of that a little bit too fast, over eager, but I am making up ground on Malcolm. Need to get this braking right here, braking before the bend, then sort of coast round it. You can see the side pedalling not too extreme, just soft pedalling round, and I nudged in front, which is great news. And we've still got 1 and a bit laps to go. Could I catch Kay? I think that's a tall order, in the sense that she absolutely roundly gave me a lesson in how to corner and stay up and win one of these races. Absolutely humiliated me last week. So as we enter the last lap, my prediction is no, I don't think I can catch Kay, but let's give it a go. This is what racing's all about, isn't it? Welcome to Cadeville. If that's the last time we'll pass that, well, that's well, at least while we're racing, because next time we go past that, we'll have just crossed the finishing line at the end. Taking this corner a bit too cautiously. There's plenty of white in between the green and the red on the speedometer, but staying up is important, because one thing there is, is chasing Kay, but on the other hand, Malcolm's not far behind, so we can't afford a crash, because Malcolm will exploit that to the full. Taking this one, getting this cornering much better than I was earlier in the race. The gaps between the red and the white on the speedometer getting ever smaller. Remember, if there's a yellow bit there, you can't brake on the yellow bit or you'll skid. You can sometimes rescue the skid, so it's quite a lot of skill factor in this. It is quite absorbing, and I'd say that whereas a lot of these online racing platforms, it's all about brute force and ignorance, this is about delicate skills, and actually you have to learn it a little bit, and you also have to be patient and know how to scheme it properly. Getting that corner right, we're on the last lap. This is getting exciting. Could I catch Kay? And I think Vanessa's probably not racing. I think Luca's dropped out the race fully now. I can't see him on the leaderboard, so I mentioned earlier. Can't quite see. Is that Kay ahead? No, I don't think so. Yes, it is. We've got Kay within our sights now, and right now this calls for a cool head. Don't get too excited. We've only got the rest of the lap to catch her now, so it's touch and go whether we can actually do this as we go around by the railway. Watch the trains go by, but let's spend a little bit more time looking at the cornering to get that right, because Kay is good at cornering, and I wouldn't assume that I'm going to beat her by doing better cornering. I'm going to have to beat her by catching on the straights and braking sufficiently to take the corners at the same speed she does. I think her avatar is getting a little bit nearer. This is good news. I mean, look at the distance there. Admittedly, she'll accelerate on that corner whilst we're slowly going round it. I've got this one about right, haven't I? Look at the needle. Right, look at the red and the green almost touching there. Nevertheless, you come out the bend and you can see Vanessa's made up ground on the straight. I need to make the catch a little bit on the straight. I'll get close, but again, let's just stay up, because if I go down, I'm not going to catch her on this lap. Now, there's only 600 metres to go. I'm getting it ever so close, but I don't want to get too excited. Oh, I got very close here. This is the best I could have hoped for. I really wouldn't have expected to get this close with 500 metres to go. I think I might even overtake her on this, but I've got to get the braking right. If I mess this one up, I'm going to... and automatically, by braking, I lose the place, but I've just nudged in front. I probably blocked her a little bit there. So I now have the advantage. It's not a lot. I need to stay up. I see Malcolm's just crashed again. His name flashed up in red. Let's be careful now. 300 metres to go. It's about staying up. Remember, the last bends aren't quite as tight. I certainly... earlier in the race, I was going around this last bend far too slowly, not realising that it was quite sweeping. So I can actually go a lot faster than I anticipated. Let's not get over exuberant. let's stay sensible and just get it right and cross the line. And I've probably, I don't know if it's revenge, but I'm quite pleased to say I actually managed to match Kay and slightly beat her this week. So there's the top 8 finishers. Vanessa and Luca, not quite making it this week, but we look forward to the next one. Haven't decided what the course will be, but keep your eyes open both on CADEsport and westlondoncycling.com, because that's where we announce the races on Mondays at 7:30 p.m. UK time. See you on the start line.
Mm-hmm.